They hate you because they can't be like you. A lot has changed over the past 2,000 years, but one thing that hasn't is human nature. From the time of Zeno, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, people have always been annoying. Today we'll discuss Stoic tips for handling difficult, frustrating, obnoxious, and annoying people. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius advises against over-analyzing troubling events. He asks, "What will you do about it?" He stresses that letting bad situations continue makes us partly responsible. He also says the best revenge is to avoid becoming like those who do wrong. Marcus warns, don't treat people as badly as they treat others. The idea is to not let others' cruelty, randomness, or selfishness change us. We can choose not to be part of it and not to let it make us worse. Most importantly, we can decide not to be the type of person who ignores wrongdoing. A well-known quote from Marcus Aurelius is, "The obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote, found in Book 5 of Meditations, actually refers to people. Marcus explains that our main task is to help and tolerate others. However, when they hinder our important tasks, they become irrelevant, like natural elements such as the sun and wind. He says that while our actions can be blocked, our intentions and attitudes cannot, as we can adapt and use obstacles to our advantage. Thus, when he says the obstacle is the way, he means that difficult people give us a chance to practice virtue. What we can see in others is a chance to approach things in a new way. It's a beautiful idea that people are our true focus. We exist to support each other. As people who live in communities and societies, like the old thinkers said, our task is to learn how to interact with others, to inspire the best in them, and to avoid being negatively influenced or hurt by them. We should not let them make us bitter or change us for the worse. Instead, when we face challenging or troublesome people, as Marcus Aurelius begins the second book of his Meditations by discussing the difficulties people bring, we should see these interactions as opportunities to grow, change, learn, and do good for them and the world. Here are 5 Stoic principles to help you deal with rude and challenging people in your life. 1. Always try to see the good in people. Marcus Aurelius believed that we should recognize that those who do wrong share the same nature as ourselves. They are like us, and we are like them. 2. Encountering rude people is unavoidable. When you wake up, remind yourself, today I will encounter rude, foolish, and selfish individuals. It's a part of life. Don't be shocked by their presence since you expect it. 3. Don't seek revenge. According to the Stoics, the best way to respond to negativity is by leading a good life. Marcus Aurelius taught, the best way to counteract their behavior is to not emulate it. 4. Don't care about things that does not matter. Maintain indifference to the things that don't truly affect your well-being. Marcus Aurelius advised, be indifferent to what does not matter. If others are unpleasant or get away with bad behavior, it shouldn't compel us to change our good ways. 5. Take a broader perspective. Imagine viewing everything from high above, like through an airplane window. Problems seem much smaller from that distance. Don't take difficult people too seriously. Focus instead on what you can control and let go of the rest. Remember, some people will be difficult, but that's just how it is. One of the key themes in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is his repeated focus on the types of challenging people we encounter daily. At the start of the book, he lists the types: frustrating, jealous, foolish, dishonest, and aggressive individuals. It's a simple reality. even in his famous saying, "The obstacle is the way," where he talks about how challenges in actions can actually propel us forward. He's really referring to dealing with difficult people. He doesn't suggest avoiding them, cutting them out of your life, or losing faith in humanity. Instead, he views difficult individuals as chances to show kindness, patience, and goodness, and to bring out the best in them. This idea that the obstacle is the way is precisely about embracing the challenge presented by difficult people, enduring them, and finding ways to cooperate with them, rising to the challenges they present in our interactions. Marcus Aurelius, who often dealt with difficult people, had a unique perspective on how to handle such encounters. He would suggest asking yourself, is a world without rude or shameless people even possible? His answer was no. Therefore, he believed that these challenging individuals are simply fulfilling a role that's inevitable in the world. When you begin to see even the most frustrating, annoying, or difficult individuals as playing a necessary part that someone, somewhere must play, it becomes easier to accept and tolerate them. Marcus thought it was essential to recognize that such people are relatively few and that encountering them is just part of life. He believed it was only a matter of time before you'd meet someone like this, and once you do, it's nothing more than an expected part of your journey. Marcus Aurelius offers a transformative piece of advice. You don't always need to form an opinion. He teaches that we possess the ability to remain neutral if it's just idle chatter, trivial matters, or anything outside your influence. Why bother with it? Don't form an opinion. It doesn't have to be seen as good or bad. Epictetus also shared wisdom on this, pointing out, it's not the events themselves that disturb people, but their views about these events. This means we have the choice to ignore, to not dwell on it, to concentrate on what truly counts, focusing our efforts and thoughts where we can actually make an impact. Let others who feel the need to engage in or react to these issues handle them. As for you, let such matters drift away like clouds and keep your attention on what you can control. In the 11th chapter of his book, Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes about how often people disliked him. They spoke badly about him, doubted his honesty and dedication. But in a specific part, 11:13, he says, "If someone looks down on me, that's their issue. My job," he adds, "is to avoid saying or doing anything shameful." He continues, "If someone hates me, that's on them, not me." Marcus teaches us about Stoicism here. It's my role to stay calm and friendly, even to those who err, showing them where they're wrong, not out of pettiness or to flaunt my discipline, but sincerely and honorably. Marcus advises us to keep a good heart. Never let the gods see us holding on to bitterness or anger. He believes this is the clever approach, realizing that if someone dislikes you, that's their burden, not yours. If you weren't aware of it, it wouldn't bother you. What matters is not allowing it to change who you are. Focus on being patient and kind. Aim to uplift others more than they might ever consider doing for you. When you do something significant, people will always have strong opinions. That's just how life works. If you're not up for that, better to stay out of the arena. We can assume that famous thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus faced a lot of criticism. Anyone who shares their ideas or takes part in life's challenges will be judged by others. You need to learn to ignore such negativity. Marcus believed that although we love ourselves most, strangely, we often value others' opinions over our own. You need to block out other people's words and concentrate on your own actions. That's a Stoic principle. They encourage developing a personal metric to evaluate your actions and success based on your own goals and values, not those of critics, doubters, family, or friends. What truly counts is your own perception of your efforts and who you aim to be. That's the standard by which you should judge yourself. As Stoics, one of our goals is to establish clear boundaries. Stoic philosophy emphasizes self-sufficiency, maintaining composure regardless of external circumstances, and managing our own issues without burdening others. It's about controlling the inner citadel, our soul, and not letting others' turmoil disrupt our peace. This means maintaining some defenses against the chaos others might try to impose on us, whether it's their emotional outbursts, demands, or lack of discipline. It also involves having the strength, confidence, and courtesy to assertively communicate your limits, saying things like, "I'm not comfortable with this," or "I'd rather not do that," and offering alternatives that you are okay with. Setting boundaries is essentially about being a responsible, mature individual who defines how others can interact with you. Just as a nation needs borders to exist, a person needs boundaries to maintain a distinct identity. Marcus Aurelius advises reflecting frequently on the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. He suggests imagining oneself running alongside the stars or floating among them when observing the night sky. This perspective can also be applied when watching a sunset, observing people, or enjoying a beautiful landscape, fostering a sense of unity with humanity as a whole. It's valuable to consider all the generations that have existed and those yet to come, recognizing that everyone is part of a large, interconnected organism. According to Stoic philosophy, what harms this collective organism inevitably harms each individual, emphasizing the shared nature of human experience. This perspective of universal connection is an important reminder for all. Reflecting on Marcus Aurelius's teachings and Stoic philosophy, it becomes evident that managing challenging people and situations with patience and empathy is essential for our personal peace and positive impact on the world. Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on the aspects we can control, our responses, our mindset, and our actions, instead of being consumed by others' behaviors. Every day we meet various individuals, some of whom may test our patience or disturb our peace. Stoicism teaches us that these challenges are not just obstacles to endure, but opportunities to learn and grow stronger. When dealing with rude or difficult people, we have the choice to react with anger or to respond with compassion and understanding. This approach not only preserves our own tranquility, but can also influence others to improve their behavior. Moreover, setting personal boundaries, as discussed, isn't about isolating ourselves, but about defining how we engage with the world in a healthy and productive manner. By clearly communicating our limits and expectations, we create a space where mutual respect can flourish, and we protect our mental and emotional well-being. In conclusion, embracing the Stoic philosophy in handling daily interactions can lead to a more fulfilled and balanced life. We learn to accept the imperfections of the world and others, using every challenge as an opportunity to reinforce our values and practice virtue. This mindset allows us to remain calm, resilient, and focused on our personal growth, regardless of external circumstances. Thanks for watching. As always, until next time.